Hi students. I wanted to touch base with you about your 7-day diet and activity analysis project. It was supposed to be due tomorrow. I have extended the due date for that until April 13th. It's been crazy. We've been delayed in everything else that we've been doing for a couple of weeks, so I decided to bump the due date for part 2 of the diet and the 7-day diet and activity analysis project to April 13th. So uh, go ahead and be working on it. Go ahead and be getting it done. Today I wanted to record this video so that we can comb through that project together all over again. First of all, you need this assignment sheet, which you can find on Blackboard. Just log on to Blackboard. There's a link that says 7-day diet and activity analysis assignment or something like that. Click on the link. It will take you to everything you need basically for this assignment. The main thing that you need is the assignment sheet, and it will give you step by step what you need to do. So you've already done part 1 of that assignment, or hopefully you have. If not, that is very, very late. But part 2 of the assignment is what you're working on now. So I want to comb through step by step the guidelines for that. So part 2, it says for the second part of this assignment, you will create a 3-day diet and activity plan, which meets diet and activity recommendations. This will require much trial and correction. The diet analysis plan, remember, it is not necessary to meet exactly 100% of each nutrient, each DRI for every day. A general guideline is meeting between 80% and 120% of the requirements. So 80 to 120% over a 1-week period. I'm not requiring you to do a 7-day plan, even though I have in previous semesters. You are doing a 3-day plan, so I want you to create a plan, a food plan, 3 days worth of foods that meet the guidelines. So each nutrient within 80 to 120% of the requirements. Nutrition Calc Plus will indicate your percentage for each nutrient. As you're entering foods into that the software, into that application and connect, you will you can click over to reports, and the bar graph report shows you the list of all the nutrients, and then it shows you specifically how many milligrams or however that particular nutrient is recorded. And then it shows you a little bar graph, and right beside the bar graph is a number, a percentage. And that's the percentage of the DRI or the nutrient recommendation that you met for that nutrient. I'm looking for that number to be between 80 and 120% for all the major nutrients. That is for calories, for protein, carbohydrate, fat, dietary fiber, water, all the vitamins, all the minerals. So all of those need to be between 80 to 120%. At least you need to try to get them in that range. Now, if you've worked on it, if after watching this video you've followed all my tips, all my recommendations, and you've worked on it for hours and hours and hours, and you cannot get everything in the range, get almost everything in the range and be done with it. So that's step 1. You want to enter the foods. If we were in class, what we would talk about this coming week is chapter 9. Chapter 9 is a healthy diet for weight loss and different things. And there's a lot of misinformation online about diets. We hear all kinds of crazy things, all kinds of fad diets that people follow. I want you to know that there's credible information. There's credible nutrition information on the web. And I wanted to give you a few of those resources. And I feel like those resources may even help you move forward on this project a little more quickly. You may be wondering, how do I even start a healthy 3-day plan? If you've had trouble with that part of it and you don't even know what a starting place would be, I'm going to give you three resources that you might consider using to start that or to tweak what you already have. One is My Plate, ChooseMyPlate.gov. ChooseMyPlate.gov is kind of like what the old My Pyramid used to be. It gives you, if you have a general calorie level that you're trying to follow, it can give you a certain number of vegetables servings per day, a certain number of fruit servings, certain number of protein, certain number of fat. Each of the main categories, it will give you a starting point so that you know how many of those kinds of foods per day. I recommend, if your numbers are way off on the NutriCalc Plus, I recommend maybe you go back and start with something like that. There are other plans. So that was choosemyplate.gov. You can find those numbers on that. The DASH diet, that's capital D, capital A, capital S, capital H. It's an acronym. This diet was originally designed to stop hypertension, which is high blood pressure. So dietary approach for stopping hypertension or something like that is what the acronym stands for. So that's another diet. You can Google it, the DASH diet. It also has very specific recommendations for fruits, vegetables, protein, fats, all that stuff. So that's a good plan as well. And the third one is the Mediterranean diet. That is perhaps the most recommended diet by health professionals at this time. And you can also find number servings for that. So if you're looking for a starting point, go to your calorie level, which is called your DRI goal. If you go into the reports, it will give you your DRI goal. You can look on that. If it's 2,500 calories or whatever, you can go to one of these plans and see, okay, how many servings of vegetables, fruits, and so on, and create just a 3-day plan of good, healthy foods. Take a look at your reports and see how many of your nutrients are within the range. Let's say you look at your reports and vitamin E is 20%, and you're needing it to be at least 80. Google what foods are high in vitamin E. You'll find that sunflower seeds are a great source. Add a couple of tablespoons of sunflower seeds. So if you're finding specific nutrients that are way out of range, either they're too high or they're too low, just do a Google search and see what foods are high in that nutrient. Another way that you can, if your numbers are too high in a particular nutrient, in the reports, you can click on, I think it's maybe a single nutrient report, and you can look and see exactly what foods are contributing to that level, to the level of that nutrient. So that can show you what foods are providing that particular nutrient that you have entered. Okay, so that's the diet analysis. So I'm looking for each of the nutrients I mentioned to be between 80 and 120% for the 3-day average. Okay, get it as close as you can and be done with it. The bar graph report for part 2 is worth 25 points, and the activity analysis summary or activity summary report is worth 25 points as well. Remember, you received 50 points if you turned in part 1 and got all the pieces and parts there, and this part 2 is worth the other 50 points for this major assignment. So okay, so what am I expecting from the activity portion of this assignment? The activity portion of this assignment, you need to meet the ACSM guidelines, for cardio, for flexibility, for muscle fitness. And those are found right here. If you take the assignment sheet that I gave you that you can find in Blackboard, if you're looking at the part for part 2, just flip it over a page. And right here on this page, you can see the, right here, the ACSM guidelines. I just kind of summarized them right there. So if you're not sure how many days of cardio do we need, how many days of muscle fitness training, how many days of flexibility, right there. You don't have to wonder, you don't have to guess. That's what I'm expecting. The other thing I'm expecting for the activity portion of the report is for your calories burned to match your calories that were prescribed, your DRI goal for calories. And that those calories need to match up within 150 calories, plus or minus 150 calories. So the calories you burn need to be within 150 calories of the DRI goal that you were given when you created your profile. Now, about creating the profile, when you originally created your profile, if your activity level that you reported was sedentary or lightly active, that will likely not work for this part 2 of the assignment, because part of how you're meeting, part of what you're doing in the assignment is meeting the ACSM guidelines. As you meet the ACSM guidelines, it's going to bump you into the active category or the very active, depending on what other activities you do. So, so if you find that you're having a difficult time making your calories match what you have entered, that the calories burned, then you can go into your profile and increase your activity level to active or whatever it's recommending for you. Okay, and that will bring your calories into line. So once you've entered all your physical activities, which again is a plan, it's not, what I recommend for the activities is that you take a few of your days from part 1 and just put the activity in there that needs to be in there. You don't need to start from square one with this unless you already have. So basically take your daily activities. It's 24 hours of activities, and you just need to make sure that you're meeting the ACSM guidelines and that your calories match up. Calories burnt, calories in, match your calories out within 150 calories. So once you have all of these, you will simply email the bar graph report and the activity summary report to me, and I will grade them. If you have any questions about this, you can definitely refer to this assignment sheet. That is your go-to source. It's literally a step-by-step process. And I recommend that you get calories, protein, carbohydrate, dietary fiber, fat, monounsaturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, water, all the vitamins, all the minerals within 80 to 120% or as close as you can. But if you've worked on it for a very, 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 very long time and you still have, 5 nutrients that are out, just be done. Just be done, okay? Because that's only going to be 5 points off out of those 25. So do what you can. Obviously, I want you to benefit from this project as much as you possibly can. If you have questions, if you're beating your brains out trying to get this stuff done, watch this video again. Take notes on those tips, the ways that I recommend for you to get it done. And if you have questions, let me know. Okay? You have my email address. Feel free to email me with your questions. And I'll be posting another video soon.